Good morning, guys. We are your hosts, Lori.
And Shenisse, certified spiritual life coaches. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to our podcast, Branching In.
Yes, and in this episode, Shenisse, we are going to talk about authenticity, the most powerful frequency you can emit.
Right?
Yes. So, what is authenticity? So, authenticity is the alignment of your inner truth with your outward expression. It happens when your words are truthful, when you genuinely believe what you are saying, and when your actions reflect your deepest values.
Oh, I love that. That
Yeah.
is such a good definition. And to kind of further expand on it, to be authentic is to live in integrity, to speak and act in alignment with what you truly believe. And in doing so, you radiate a frequency of truth that is felt by everyone around you, which inspires them to do the same. And actually, for many years, it was unconditional love that was thought to be the most powerful frequency.
Yeah.
But science has recently shown that that is not the case. Authenticity is the most powerful frequency to leave the human body 4,000 times more powerful than love, which
That's amazing.
that's mind blowing.
Yeah, that is amazing. And like just knowing that from experiencing being around others that are so authentic, you can feel that. And it's so strong. And it doesn't really matter when I'm around authenticity and someone's speaking in their truth, in their belief, no matter what it is. I don't even have to agree with them. It does not matter. It feels so good because they're being them. They're being true to them. And
Yes.
that actually makes me so happy.
Yes. I was surprised at first, but then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, that actually makes complete sense because to be authentic is to be in alignment with every aspect of yourself. And so yeah, why would it be the most powerful frequencies to be true to who you are, to embody it so fully that it's literally changing your energetic field, affecting everybody around you. I'm like, yeah, that makes complete sense.
And to note 4,000 times more powerful than love, that frequency of authenticity. So, Shanice, what I've come to understand deeper about authenticity is authenticity requires self love to
Yeah,
really embrace myself. I can't even begin to be authentic without having self love for myself.
that's so
And
important.
yeah, like really, really loving me because
Yeah.
then that just comes out. Have you found that to be true for you?
Yes, yes, that was what led me to be able to embody my most authentic self, was beginning to love myself. There was no way I could be who I am if I was constantly burying the parts of me that I didn't like, the parts of me that I didn't
Right.
accept. So it was really looking at all of me, coming to love all of these different pieces of me before I could really. And because when I say embody myself, we're multidimensional beings. We're not just one thing. We're all of these different parts and they're all
Yeah.
beautiful. But I feel like the way society has indoctrinated us in that sense is you like, oh well, I'm this, or I'm that, like really just trying to be one thing. But that's not the case. That's not who we are. We are multidimensional beings. And so really coming to see that about myself and accept all of the different parts of me,
Yeah.
which is what really allowed me to then embody my authentic self and share that with others.
Yeah. Loving all your parts. I think we all struggle with something we might not be that fond about ourselves, but really embracing that and almost highlighting that. I think for me, like areas that I've, started to learn to become more comfortable with is areas that were actually the ones that I struggled the most, that I'm almost like highlighting them and embracing that and actually looking more like that's what makes me me. And
Yeah.
that's the uniqueness because it would be boring. And I love seeing everybody's differences and uniqueness. And why can't I see mine? because I
Yes.
actually enjoy seeing that in others. So actually, when I do see others being their true authentic self, no matter what it is, it actually does also give me permission. It's like, oh my God, I love that. Like, and then I actually feel more comfortable being me too.
Exactly. No, I love that. You said it exactly. It gives you permission. It's like, oh, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Well, and
Yes.
it's a struggle, it's a journey, because I feel like most people spend their lives trying so hard to be very palatable to others and kind of
Yeah.
show our best sides,
Yes.
not let anyone see our darkness, kind of keep that all bottled up.
Yes.
But to be your authentic self is to embrace that, to celebrate that, because it is part of this human experience and it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
when you can find that beauty, when you can really shower those parts of yourself with love, oh my gosh, that changes everything. And that's what really allows you to embody all of who you are.
Yeah. And we've all got in the habits of comparing ourselves to
Oh,
others. And I think that's the biggest sabotaging, well, how you sabotage yourself in being authentic is comparing yourself to others, because it's
yeah,
impossible to be authentic when you're comparing yourself to others, because we
yeah,
are not others, we are ourselves. But
exactly.
we've all been there, we're girls, especially teenage years. It's really hard. I have teenage girls. It's really
Yeah,
hard not comparing yourself to others. But when we do see that really unique guy or girl, it brings a smile on our face. It's
yeah,
just, we need to do that for ourselves. Again, back to, we have to love all of ourselves. That's how that person is able to do that and
yes,
admit that frequency is, but they're not looking for someone else to say that looks okay, that they already validated themselves because they have that self-love. It looks okay to me. I'm good. And so that's all you need to have that type of authenticity that radiates at that beautiful frequency.
yes, Lori, thank you so much for bringing up comparison, because that is major. Comparison is the death of self expression. And if you're going to compare yourself to something, I heard this years ago and I love it. I love it. And I use it all the time. Don't compare yourself to someone else. Compare yourself to who you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Like, that is
Yeah.
that healthy form of comparison where you can see where you've been and see where you are now and celebrate all the strides and steps that you've
I love
taken.
that.
Don't compare yourself to someone else, because you aren't anyone else. You are a completely unique being, like you said, Lori. And it kills the joy that we have for ourselves when we compare ourselves to someone else. So just don't do it.
Yeah, and it's again just reprogramming that. And again, the more work you do, I found for myself that on this journey, the more self-love I do, the more things I do that I love, the
Mhm.
more things that, bring out my self-love, because the things I enjoy to do, I enjoy taking walks, or I enjoy my dogs, or I enjoy whatever it is I enjoy to do. I enjoy having my whatever I'm eating or whatever. The more I do that, it just keeps bringing that out and reminding me of that. And I get more and more comfortable. I wasn't always comfortable in this, but I've become more comfortable because I do things I love, which creates more self-love.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's such a good point. I know that for myself, I have struggled with that throughout my life. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. For me specifically, I was always so focused on making sure that I was loved by others, constantly gaining other people's love, that I never took the time to ask myself, like, well, do I love myself? That was nowhere in the forefront of my mind. And to really be authentic, like we were just talking about, really requires that self love. And so, one thing that really helped me so much, Lori, and I know it helped you as well, was our self love and authenticity a la carte course.
Oh
Because it
yeah.
really it broke everything down and it asked me questions I had never thought to ask myself,
Yeah.
and really just showed me what it is and how it's simpler, not necessarily easy, but it
Yeah.
is simpler than people make it out to be. And it's such an important step on anyone's journey. And it's really what leads you to just embody your most authentic self.
Yeah, agreed, Shanice. Again, I know we keep talking about this, but self-love is something so many of us have avoided or
Mhm.
just haven't been raised with that concept of putting ourselves first and loving ourselves. Again, the name of our, podcast, Branching In, that whole idea, was foreign to me and you. And I know I'm sure a lot of our listeners, but that is what brings this out. I mean, you can't go wrong. It speaks volumes when you go inward and do this work and love yourself, because again, you are able to be authentic.
Yes.
You are able to create. You're able to drown out the noise of what everybody else is doing. You're not even looking. I mean, honestly, I sometimes have to put my head up because I'm so engrossed in what I'm doing. Like, I'm not like comparing and looking around or trying to see what's working for everybody else. I'm just doing what's working for me.
Yeah.
And not getting caught up in that, because that actually changes my views then, or I actually really try to stay more inward as I'm creating, as I'm in the world and showing up as me. And I have not always been that. I mean, growing up with red hair, freckles, and glasses is not fun. It was actually challenging. I tried every bleaching cream on the market.
Oh my
My mom
God.
was so sick of always trying to remove these freckles. And I always struggled with being so different. And when I grew up, there really wasn't many people that were red hair and freckles. So it was so different. And then glasses on top of it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what kind of curse is this? And then it took most of my life to embrace that and go with that's who you are. It's kind of like if you have curly hair and you want trying to make it straight.
Yeah.
And the hairdresser's like, just embrace that. And that you radiate more, you shine more, taking what you have, which you already have, and enhancing that versus trying to strip away what is automatically in you that is so unique and beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I talk to my daughters all the time about toxic beauty standards, and just because they all have like the curly hair and, and so, yep, talk to them all the time about that. And they're sick and tired of hearing about it at this point.
And we all go
But I
through
will
it.
not stop.
Yep. Yep. I mean, we all go through it, and in the world, there's so many, like, you can do this, but you can't do this. And this is like so many, we're operating off of other people's conditions and beliefs, which is that interferes with authenticity. Because if I'm going off of your belief or your fear or your illusion, I'm not being true to me at all. And also it confuses me, because then I start wondering, well, do I believe that, or is it because something I heard? And so I have to kind of step away from all of that to come back to me. Typically what I do is I go out in nature, because there's I literally unplug and go in nature and come back to me. And then it's not always easy. Like I said, we live in a world, and especially in today's world, where we are so plugged in and we see and hear everybody's views and everybody's sizes and everything.
Yeah.
And we do fit checks and so there is this stigma of what it's supposed to look like.
Yes.
And so it can be challenging, but that's for me to regroup. I just unplug, go outside, and my teenage daughter might say to me, my teenage daughter might tell me that's not in style. And I just say, you know what? It is for me.
Yeah, it's really so important to step away from all the noise and just kind of go back to yourself. And I also go into nature. That's just, I don't know, that's just where I reset everything. And it's where I take the time to think through things, feel through things, and come back to myself and just remind myself of who I am, because it can be so easy to get caught up in all the noise of the outside world and everyone's opinion. And so me personally, I try to limit social media, because it can just get so overwhelming.
Yes.
So that's just one way that it kind of just allows me to stay grounded in who I am and make choices from that inner place, instead of, as you were saying, Lori, comparing and looking at what everyone else is doing to see what's okay for you to be doing. It's like, no. We're not doing that.
Right. Yeah, and it's almost the only way for me, is you just have to remove yourself and regroup. Another way for me too, Shenisse, that I do a lot is, I have my animals. I'm a big dog lover, and they just live this authentic life every second.
Yeah.
And that is so I love that. And that's such a good, it actually teaches me more authenticity, because again, I don't have to be anything but me when I'm with my dogs.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's no judgment. And I think that's the other big thing behind authenticity is judgment. And
Good
so
point.
I grew up in a very judgmental home, and that has been a very challenging thing to remove myself from is the fear of judgment.
Yeah.
That has really controlled different aspects of my life going through the self-love journey is
Mhm.
finding out how much I fear judgment.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Getting to the point where you know people are going to judge you
Yeah.
because that's just the kind of world we live in, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like creating space and also making sure, like, most of what I found, at least for me, was it wasn't so much that other people were judging me, it was that I was judging
Mm.
myself. There was
Right.
so much self judgment.
Yes.
I was so critical of
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
And self-love really helped me with that, like really helped me catch every time the judgmental voice was playing in my head,
Yes.
and be like, okay, nope, we're not doing that. Gonna stop that thought loop and then say what I want to say. And so
Right.
speak truth. And it's like, no, it's okay. Whatever is happening, I
Right.
love myself. I'm not gonna judge myself for this. I'm gonna allow this in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can't have self-love with judgment. Like you said, you hit it on the head. It's judging yourself.
mhm.
That's not self-love.
No,
And
no,
that is challenging because there's always things we're going to not care too much for about ourselves. And again, it's accepting and embracing what you got. And it's a lot of self-love work,
yes.
and that will help with the judgment.
Hmm.
But that I have definitely found is my sabotaging, the judgment. And like you said, from listening to others as well as my own judgment created not a good environment to create
Yeah.
any authenticity.
Yeah. No, for sure. And once you start working on that, like doing the inner work, really changing up the voice. So when you catch your mind judging, speaking truth to that and coming back to yourself, which doing that over years kind of compounds. And then it's you catch it less and less. I don't have that as much in my thoughts. And
Mhm.
when I do, I kind of just laugh because
Yeah,
it's funny to me now.
yeah,
Before I took it a little more seriously.
yeah,
And it just makes it that much easier to just be myself. I love myself so
yeah,
freaking much.
yeah,
And that's amazing to me because that was not the case for
yeah.
most of my life. And it just goes to show that doing the work really does work.
Yeah, and have you noticed, Janice, that when you see people that are really in their true authenticity and doing what feels right for them, and they just are in it, and they're just rolling, how much radiation that is coming from them. They're glowing. They're
Uh,
like, it's just shining, and you want some of that shine. It's just like that. You want to just embrace that feeling. I know myself, I will literally go up to somebody that I see that is radiating and be like, I'll either like, "Oh my god, I love your outfit, love your hair," like something. It's like, "What are you doing?"
yeah.
I literally will go up because it's like you want some of that. It's very like, "Oh,
It's
can I
very
have that?"
magnetic.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you wanna be around it. It's just a very feel-good feeling, and again, it reminds me to bring more of that out.
Hmm.
Like, I want to be doing that because
Yeah.
that feels good, and I'm gonna make others feel good.
Yeah, no, I have found that to be the case. That, I mean, that's for me, that's kind of how I know because it's you feel it, you
Yeah.
sense it, and it doesn't matter what they're wearing, and it
No.
doesn't matter what their body size is, and it
No.
doesn't matter what their hair color is or how long or short, like none of that matters. It's from within. It's like
Yes.
a beacon
Yes.
that's coming from within, and they're just radiating and glowing, and that's how I know because authenticity isn't something you can fake. It's something that literally comes from within you and it's magnetic. You can see it, you can feel it, you can sense it. And yeah, everyone kind of wants a piece of it. They want to
Yeah.
be near you because they're just like, what are they doing? What are they eating? What kind of
Yeah.
exercise regimen
Yeah.
or skincare
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's
routine?
like
And
and
it's not.
again, you can yeah, it's
I
just
mean, it
and
could be, but
yeah, that all helps, but again, everything starts within. So Shanice, Marianne Williamson, that created this great poem that I think she hit it right on the head of a lot of the stuff we're talking about today with authenticity. So maybe we could read this poem together.
would
I'll
love
start.
that.
I'll start. So it starts. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world.
And then she continues to say, there's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine like children too. We are meant to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not in some of us, it's in all of us. As we let our light shine, we unconditionally give others permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Wow.
I love this poem. When I first came across it, I think I read it like 10 times, 20 times. I just kept coming back to it and reading it again and again because it was just I'd like my mind was blown. I'd never read it before. And I was just like, oh, and this was right at the very beginning. So it challenged like almost every single belief
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had. And so
yeah,
I just kept reading it again and again, like, wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
It really is. And it was just so eye opening being our deepest fear is that we are more powerful beyond measure. We're not bringing it all.
Yeah.
We're like shrinking. And that's again, when we're not being authentic,
Mm-hmm.
we are shrinking inside. We are shrinking because we feel insecure about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not bringing out to the world all of us. There's so much more that meets the eye, as they would say. And that's hit me too. Just reading this is so powerful. And I think it fits so well in what we're talking about today in authenticity and how it relates to how authenticity radiates from the inside. And it really does affect what we look like on the outside.
Yeah. And she brings up a good point that I want to touch on real quick. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. And I know that that was a big, big thing for me. One of the things that held me back the longest was I was so afraid of like stepping on other people's toes, or like as I was healing and as I was coming to love myself more, I kind of kept it under wraps because I didn't want to make anyone else feel bad about
Yeah.
themselves or
Yep.
insecure on where they were on their journey.
Yep.
And so I kept it all to myself. And I was reminded, it's like, no, it actually, when we can be that in front of others, it's giving them permission to do the same, and it's automatically liberating them, you know? So don't shrink because you're afraid it's going to hurt somebody else, you know?
Yeah. Helps them.
It helps them.
It does. And it's funny how we were programmed that way, just in reverse. So it is a different concept to kind of switch in your mind to think that opposite, but actually you're giving them permission.
Yes.
It's bringing more of that out.
Mhm.
But that, Shenisse, agreed. I've
Yeah.
exactly felt that same way.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, so just be your authentic self. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, Shenisse, to wrap up this episode, we have learned about self love and how it leads to authenticity, how it is the most powerful frequency we can admit, and how it radiates from the inside. And it really does affect how you look on the outside.
Yes, really does. If you'd like to learn more about us or check out our products and services, you can click the link in the description. Today's quote is by Brené Brown. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are.
Everything we talked about. Love that.
All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening to Branching In with Shenisse.
And Lori, join us next time for our next episode. We post every Friday. See you guys then.
Bye.